Okay, so we finally got up and streaming, and we'll kind of see where this goes tonight. Yeah, and didn't really put this. Oops. So we didn't have time to really get this out the way I wanted to. Yeah, just because of other commitments that I had to. Yeah, but yeah, hopefully a few people will come in, and then we'll spread the word from there. So what we're going to do tonight is hopefully there'll be enough in here where we can go ahead and select our judges for social media court moving forward, and then like to get into some trivia. We also get into some debates. The debates are actually on a timer, which we just use a general timer for that. As you can see here, let's see if I can get that to pull up. There we go. Um, there we. Yeah, it just has a timer that's well, what's that? Not? There we go. You can see that the times are already preset. So the first person, would ask up to 3 questions. Those 3 questions last for a total of 25 seconds. So they have to get their question in very concise, very quickly. Once they ask that first question, then the person, the debater or debater B, will have a minute and 15 seconds if they need all that time, to answer the question, that debater A asked. After that, you can't really see it on here. Yeah, maybe I can give a different view. There we go. All right, so in the last section, this person gets a total of 3 minutes to answer the 3 questions. Or I'm sorry, not answer, but they will uh, give their comment, their closing comment, or a rebuttal, to what these questions were. So 3 questions, each question 25 seconds apiece, up to 3 answers, up to a minute and 15 seconds. Believe it or not, it's hard to get your answers in a minute and 15 seconds at first. Once the conversation progresses, people answer these in 10 or 15 seconds. Then at the end of that, this person gets 3 minutes uninterrupted to state their case. Then all this gets flipped on its head. Debater B becomes debater A. They get 3 questions, followed by 3 answers, followed by a 3 minute discussion or rebuttal. So it's really fun. It lays down the groundwork for everybody to be civil and ask us anywhere from serious to lighthearted questions. Then we will also, as time progresses, we'll get into our social media court marriages or renewal vows. And so we ask that you bring your significant unlawfully wedded other to the courtroom, and we will get you hitched. And that kind of sounds like this. Mary, do you take this low down rotten scandal as your social media husband? And she'll answer nay or yay. Then we'll ask him, Bob, do you take this fine jewel of a woman free of twerking and tweaking with more teeth than she was born with as your unlawfully unwedded wife? So that's just kind of the way that goes. They can say their vows, and we're hoping that you'll bring some extremely funny wedding vows, to the courtroom. So, these should be some marriages like no other. Kind of losing my voice, so maybe it's good that this will be kind of a short session here, just kind of explaining everything. If you are viewing this and you want to be one of the social media judges, The role of the social media judge is just to make sure that everything stays in order, that the questions are answered properly, and to interject, in between the question and answers. Interject your thoughts, opinions, get comments from the comment section. And then at the end, after we go 2 complete rounds, then what happens is that um, the audience or the chat area will then turn around and be the jury to vote on who won the debate. After that, we'll do some uh, trivia. We've got some really good trivia, anything from TV trivia to political trivia to American history, Salem witch hunts. I mean, anything you want to do trivia on, we probably have it. So that's the way that we'll continue forward. So if you're viewing this after the fact, let your friends know every Friday night, between 8 o'clock. Well, I'm sorry, 9 o'clock Eastern, 8 o'clock Central. We're going to do these Friday night, social media court sessions. So should be a lot of fun. I'm hoping that everybody will, participate in this. There we go. All right. So, I'll stick around here for a little while. This was intended to be a very short session, hopefully to see if anybody even saw this. And if they didn't, how, lets me know how to work on this and try and get some more people in at a later time. So far, nothing. That's okay. It's like fishing. You just have to figure out what bait to use and how to go about using the right rod and reel. And so, only put this out to a very small amount of people, just to kind of see how it would go. I guess they're tied up and not coming this way. So, um, we'll get this out to a whole lot more people in the next week or two, and should be able to drag quite a few more people in here to social media court and make it a whole lot more interesting. Um, you see what I've got above me here. Well, if this will ever up here. No, not quite getting my finger in here for some reason. It's the In God We Trust. So, like to, you know, have some re- religious discussion, and not a whole lot, but I don't want this to be a place where people are afraid to bring their Christian views. God knows everywhere else in the world, you can't say anything without somebody trying to bash the Christian religion, including Christians. Um, we're either hypocrites or um, the church is stealing from people or who knows what. So, uh, there won't be any of that here, or if they feel that strongly about it, they take it to social media court and we can hash it out and figure out what it is that they feel so strongly about. Um, but I am going to just sit here for a little bit, see if people get the message to come in. If they don't, that's okay. I've got my message out, which will be showing on my channel, so people will be able to see this. So I'm going to sit back here for a few minutes and just see what happens. So I'm just hanging out here trying to see if anybody comes into the room tonight. If not, we'll try it again next Friday after we've had time to get the word out a little better.
Hey, everybody, it's Governor Gavin Newsom, and I know we're all on this platform searching for the truth. But the truth is, I've not been able to find a simple explanation for the fact that we have a red state murder problem. 8 of the top 10 states with the highest murder rates happen to be red states. So the question is simple. What are the laws and policies in those states that are leading to such carnage? about this new product that's going viral? Replace your whole roof in as little as... Yeah, the answer is yes. The World Economic Forum is insane, run by elites that is taking away your personal and financial freedoms, and they're just getting started. Now, as Rand Paul said, this isn't a conspiracy. It's actually written down right inside. But people comment 51. Fake news hit the financial market. We're heading towards a gold super cycle with prices hitting 20. Yeah, the answer is yes. The World Economic Forum.
Let's see.
So far this year, as you look forward, is there any real prospect it can they can recoup? The changing world order. The times ahead will be radically different from those that we've experienced in our lifetimes, though similar to many times before. How do I know that? Because they always have been. Over my roughly 50 years of global macroeconomic investing, I've learned the hard way that the most important events that surprised me did so because they never happened in my lifetime. These painful surprises led me to study the last 500 years of history for similar situations, where I saw that they had indeed happened many times before, with the ups and the downs of the Dutch, British, and empires. And every time they did, it was a sign of the changing world order. This study taught me valuable lessons that I'm going to pass along to you here in a distilled form. You can find the comprehensive version in my book, Principles for Dealing with the Changing World Order. Let me begin with the story that brought me to this point, about how I learned to anticipate the future by studying the past.
important events that surprised me did so because they never happened in my lifetime. These painful surprises led me to study the last 500 years of history with similar success, where I saw that they had indeed happened many times before, with the ups and the downs of the Dutch, British, and U.S. empire. And every time they did,
That's beautiful.
it was
Now give each other a hug.
of changing the world.
So, just to get started,
This study
we're going to talk
taught
to
me valuable
a good friend.
lessons that I'm going to pass
One
along
of
to
Great
you
Book
here
Principles.
in
This is Ray Dalio.
You can find the comprehensive
And
version in my book,
Ray
Principles for
Ray
Dealing with
thinks
the
of himself,
Changing
and
World Order.
we all think of ourselves as just
Let
ordinary,
me begin with the
ordinary
story
guy.
that brought me to this
And
point,
when I talked to him
about
about
how
being
I learned
ordinary,
to
I asked,
anticipate
and
the
this is what we
future
want to
by
learn today.
studying the past. In 1971, when I was a young clerk on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, the United States ran out of money and defaulted on its debts. That's right, the U.S. ran out of money. How? Well, back then, gold was the money used in transactions between countries. Like the dollar, it had no value other than it could be exchanged for gold, which was the real money. At the time, the United States was spending a lot more money than it was earning by writing a lot more of these paper money checks than it had gold in the bank to exchange for them. People turned these checks into gold money. The amount of gold in the U.S. started to dwindle. It soon became obvious that the U.S. couldn't keep its promises for all the existing paper, so people holding dollars rushed to exchange them for gold. On Sunday evening, August 15th, President Nixon went on television to tell the world that the U.S. was breaking its promise to let people exchange their dollars for gold. Of course, he didn't say it that way. He said it more diplomatically, without making it clear that the United States was defaulting.
The strength of a nation's currency is based on the strength of that nation's economy. And the American economy is by far the strongest in the world. Accordingly, I have directed the Secretary of the Treasury to take the action necessary to defend the dollar against the speculators. I have directed Secretary Connally to suspend temporarily the convertibility of the dollar into gold or other reserve assets, except in amounts and conditions determined to be in the interest of monetary stability and in the best interest of the United States.
I watched in awe, realizing that money as we understood it was ending. What a crisis! I expected the stock market to plunge the next day, so I got on the exchange floor early to prepare. When the opening bell rang, pandemonium broke out, but not the kind I expected. The market was up, way up, and went on to rise nearly 25%. That surprised me, because I never experienced a currency devaluation before. When I dug into history, I discovered that the exact same thing happened in 1933 and had the exact same effect. Then paper dollars were also linked to gold, which the U.S. was running out of because it was spending more paper money checks than it had gold to exchange for them. And President Roosevelt announced on the radio that he would break the country's promise to exchange dollars for gold.
It was then that I issued the proclamation providing for the National Bank holiday. And this was the first step in the government's reconstruction of our financial and economic fabric. The second step, last Thursday, was the legislation promptly and patriotically passed by the Congress, confirming my proclamation and broadening my powers so that it became possible, in view of the requirement of time, to extend the holiday and lift the ban of that holiday gradually in the days to come.
In both cases, breaking the link to gold allowed the U.S. to continue spending more than it earned, simply by printing more paper dollars, since there was an increase in the number of dollars without an increase in the country's wealth. The value of each dollar fell. As these new dollars entered the market, the dollar